Well, who's ready for some more track work? This isn't being mentioned much in the news, but there are going to be significant service impacts on the main line starting this weekend on the Ronkonkoma line. Actually, it's going to be many weekends on the Ronkonkoma line. September 13th to 15th, September 20th to 22nd, October 4th through 6th, October 18th to 20th, and October 26th through 27th. There will be revised schedules and reduced service to hourly east of Farmingdale. And actually, I want to pull something up for a moment because this is a lie. Because if we go to the MTA's transparency page, which I'll do right here, I should have pulled this up before I got started, but we pulled this up to their transparency page, and we go to their board and committee meetings, and we go to the last meeting they had, which was actually July, the work plan. Let's see. They talk about the projects in here, I believe. Let's see. Is this it? No, this is not it. Where is it? It's September timetable and track work programs. Okay. So these are the track work programs that they have. And they did, I'll mention, they're doing Port Washington branch. But this is the bigger ones that'll be. Some of these already happened already. They're doing concrete tire placement on the Port West Hempstead branch. They are piggybacking this on another project, which is going to impact the Babylon branch as well. They're listing 2 weekends, but it's actually going to be 3, I think. September 13th to 14th. This won't be happening on the weekend of the Ryder Cup. There's no strike, but there's going to be the West Hempstead branch is going to be replaced by buses. And with one of 2 main tracks out of service on the Montauk branch, a.k.a. the Babylon branch, between Jamaica and Rockville Center, service will be reduced to hourly in both directions between Penn Station and Babylon for the majority of those 48-hour weekends. And there will be limited semi-express service will operate from Penn Station to connect up with Patchogue and Speed diesel service. This is going to be going on at the same time they're doing track work on the Ronkonkoma line. So this is the lie here. They said 2 weekends. So it's obviously way more than that. And they said one of 2 station tracks in Ronkonkoma will be out of service while new switches are installed for an additional state of good repair infrastructure maintenance. With one of 2 tracks out of service in Ronkonkoma, service will reduce to hourly at Brentwood Centralized Slip in Ronkonkoma. So there would be half-hourly service at Deer Park. But then they walked that back. And now it's only half-hourly service to Farmingdale. So there's going to be severe overcrowding on both the Ronkonkoma and Babylon branches for the next couple of weekends, for the number of weekends. Because if we go to these schedules here, you will see here that it says September 13th to 14th, 20th to 21, and October 4th to 5th. But there are more weekends than that on the sign that we saw. So I guess the Babylon branch will probably get done in fewer weekends because, of course, the Babylon branch is way more important than the Ronkonkoma line in the eyes of the railroad, because we all know, by gosh, important people live there. So this is going to be on September 13th to 14th, 2021, October 4th to 5th. If I have any new information, and it's more weekends than that, I'll let you know. And this is for switch replacement in the vicinity of Valley Stream. We'll pull up the map. I'll show you where this project is going to be taking place, because while they did put concrete ties on the Babylon branch, they have a pretty old switch around Valley Stream that needs to be replaced. And this is the switch that is right over here. So this is you can sort of see this right here. So this is what's going to be replaced. All right. And this is also going to affect the West Hempstead, which is why there's no service. You can see a lot of old wooden ties. It's an old switch that does need replacement. So that is why they are doing that on the Babylon branch. So you'll see mainly hourly service here at these times. The diesels will they will be adding stops at Babylon, some of them. So I'm not going to go over all of it, but you'll see they do have additional diesels stopping at Babylon that normally don't. So there will be extra service at Babylon, and those will be taking the main line as a result of that. It's a shame they can't stop at Hicksville, but hey, this is the way it is. So when we look at the Ronkonkoma branch, you see we have the same 3 weekends actually are listed. So it actually is the same 3 weekends for 13 to 14, 20 to 21, and October 4th to 6th. I think that is the same on the schedules. That sign, though, said something else. So you see, you get all this different conflicting information here, but they're happening on the same weekends. That's really bad because you're having reduced service into two major Suffolk County terminals here. So the Ronkonkoma line, they all go to Farmingdale. So eastbound, you're going to have half-hourly service to Farmingdale. Interesting, eastbound, they stop at Mineola. All the trains stop at Mineola going east. All right. Which is not something they normally do, obviously. They always have a Ronkonkoma train. It skips Mineola. But going west, they skip Mineola. The Farmingdale trains will skip Mineola. So you're going to have... there's going to be a lot of overcrowding. I'm just warning you for the next a couple of weekends here. Reduced service. It's going to be a mess. And also, buses are going to be replacing trains as well on the Greenport line due to additional track work there. So for the Ronkonkoma line, they say there will be they're installing new switches and additional state of good repair infrastructure is performed, and they keep doing this. I mean, didn't they do this last year for a weekend? I don't remember, but they keep doing this. I don't understand it, but whatever the case is, what they're doing over here in Ronkonkoma, and no, this does not have to do with, and I'm pretty sure it doesn't because they're only in the preliminary stages of doing the research and design and engineering for the replacement of this grade crossing right here. See it, Ocean? Actually, it's going to be Ocean Avenue and Pond Road. So there's two grade crossings. They're not sure if they're going to close this one off or leave it open, but this one will have to, obviously, it's a busy road, so it has to be open. But they have to design how they're going to design this, whether it's going to be an overpass, an underpass. But I don't think this has anything to do with that. This has to do with, and there is already a new switch over here in the vicinity of Ronkonkoma. And this, of course, I don't know how old this street view is. This looks like an older switch that might need to be replaced over here. So I don't know why it takes so many weekends for them to replace a switch. I don't know. I know it is rather complicated, but it does seem like they're dragging it out a little bit. They're probably doing other stuff as well. But this is going to impact people, obviously, so keep that in mind. All while the MTA is proposing to raise fares on the railroad and have some really crazy work rules. Not work rules, I'm sorry, but fare ticket rules. There's some good news in it. Obviously, we can go over that as well if you want. So we'll talk about that. I don't want to make separate videos for everything. But if we go to the fare hike proposals here, we go here. Proposed fares and tolls. The base fare for subways and buses would increase from $2.90 to $3. The reduced fare would go up a nickel. There'd be a 7-day rolling fare cap. There'd be a quarter increase on the express buses. A MetroCard is going to be phased out, replaced with Omni, and hopefully NICE gets Omni soon. It's ridiculous, especially with the strike now. Not having Omni is going to be a big problem. Possible. And there are some very good news with the proposed changes to the Long Island Railroad. All right. Reduced fare will always be available. No more of that crap that's been going on for way too long, where you're making seniors and disabled people pay a peak fare on a morning peak train, which is absolutely crap. All right, that should have been ended a long time ago. So I'm glad to see that. But here's the bad thing. All right. Ticketing policies will be changed. So all one-way mobile tickets would auto-activate upon purpose, so you're not going to be able to buy them in advance and then activate them. This is because people were buying tickets on the train through the app and kind of avoiding the fee. I can just kind of understand that. You're supposed to activate as your train pulls in. All right. But this is the bad news. Paper tickets would also expire after 4 hours after purchase, which is, and again, they're doing this because tickets don't get collected and people are getting free rides, obviously. But this is a problem because now people are going to have to always buy a ticket before they get on the train. You can't have tickets in advance. They're only going to expire, and they're going to expire after 4 hours. Obviously, they're trying to force people onto the app. I don't agree with the 4 hours. I think it should be 24 hours. How about that? All right. Or at least, I wanted to go back to the 7-day. I remember when they had the 7-day ticket. I think that would be fair enough, all right? I can sort of understand where they're coming from with that. But, I mean, there's some good news, some bad news in this. But, of course, They're raking in the money here, the MTA, with the congestion fees. And I'm not against fare hikes. Some people I know are against it. I'm not. Obviously, fares have to go up to keep up with the cost of inflation and everything else. But I do think that some of the rules with the ticketing is going to cause crazy lines at the ticket machines. It's going to be a big, big problem. Obviously, I guess they're trying to force people to use the app. That's really what they want. I honestly, I expect them one day to just phase out paper tickets, but there are new ticket machines, so maybe not. But eventually, I'd like to see Omni on the trains, but whatever the case is, that's what's going on the Long Island Railroad. So again, these schedules obviously are going to result in reduced service for quite some time at this point. As you can see, according to this picture, it says a lot of weekends here. I'm not sure if this is also the Babylon branch. This is just. I just noticed this at the train station here. Oh, this is actually at Bethpage. So this will not be on the weekend of the Ryder Cup. All right, so you see that weekend is missing. All right. Obviously, they're doing some work. Not sure what it is. They're not really clear on what they're doing. But maybe it has to do with the preliminary work to replace the Pond Road grade crossing. Again, this Pond Road grade crossing here, and we go back over to Google Maps, is not Pond Road. I'm sorry, Ocean Avenue. Pond Road is probably just going to be closed off. Ocean Avenue. This is a very busy road and a very dangerous grade crossing. And this really does need to be replaced. And they will probably have to buy out some of these businesses. I'm not sure if they're going to go there. This is just the preliminary stages. That's why I don't think it has to do with that. But what they're going to be doing is they're going to be either installing an overpass, probably not. What they're probably going to be doing is installing an underpass, I would think, at this point. So they're probably going to have to buy out these properties, which kind of look run down already. They're going to have to buy them out and then put an underpass in here, right here, I think. Similar to what they did in, New Hyde Park and stuff. And hopefully it looks like that and not like Mineola, because the Mineola underpass is horrible. But that would probably make the most sense. This is very dangerous grade crossing, and it causes a lot of delays. So they do need to replace it. And when they work on that, there's going to be more pain for the Ronkonkoma line, I'm afraid. I don't understand why, if the work is occurring in Ronkonkoma, why they can't just run service to Brentwood at CI. Why it has to end at Farmingdale. I'm not sure. Maybe they're doing other stuff. I don't know. So there you go. That's what's going on the Long Island Railroad for the next couple of weekends. Just be aware of it. And again, they're doing some work in Ronkonkoma. I'm not sure exactly what they're doing over there. This is the Pond Road crossing. This is not a very busy crossing here. So they're probably just going to close this. There's probably not enough room. Probably just going to close this off, which is going to be a problem because that's going to make people go over to Ocean Avenue. But this is going to be a little more of a complicated situation here, as you can see. So, and there's some homes there. So, I think Ocean Avenue would probably be the best way of doing that. And that way you won't have that grade crossing anymore at Ocean Avenue. But I don't know what kind of work they're doing over here. It looks like maybe it's over here. I'm not sure at this point, but it seems like they are always working on it. But hey, it does. Whatever they're doing probably needs to be done. So, and this is the station itself. There's 3 platforms, only 2 tracks. See, another thing they could do is they should really have it 3 tracks. So expand it to 3. But I don't think this has anything to do with that. Again, I haven't been able to get answers on exactly what they're doing. I don't know why they have to keep it secret. But if you know the answers, please let me know. That's all. Thanks for watching.